What's up, everybody? I said this video was going to come a while ago. I'm sorry, I've just been really busy, so if you stuck with me, you're watching this video now, I super appreciate it. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and film my next video immediately after this. This one's going to be my favorite long-range AR and LMG options, and I'm going to just immediately film the SMG one so I can get that out tomorrow as well. But, like I said, this video is going to be my top ARs and LMGs. We're going to do 10 of them. I'll go over all of them, some variations in loadouts you could run, or maybe a gun you could substitute in its spot that I just don't run, but is, in my opinion, around equally as good. So let's go ahead and jump over to the loadout screen, and we'll get into it. Okay, so number 10, we're going to stick with Old Reliable, our comeback AR, and that's going to be the Grau. This doesn't have an amazing time to kill or anything. It's got the mono warfare movement, but it does have one major thing, and that's with the Archangel barrel, as we all know. You get the clean iron sights. So you don't have to run an optic, which would slow down your ADS. You can run no optic if you like it like this. I have seen people run an optic with it, which you can do, but I would opt not to. Plus, it can be the comeback loadout as well. So this is the normal loadout. We all know it by now. Monolithic suppressor, Archangel barrel, tac laser, commando foregrip, 60 round mags. And if you've watched my video or anybody's video that has a comeback loadout that uses this, you know you drop the tac laser and you go for the fully loaded round, so you can grab this and you'll have full ammo with your AR. Any secondaries, perks, that's not, everything's just ghost or tempered on here based on what my class had it on before, with just a Psychov just to fill in the spot. So we're not going to worry about perks, lethals or tacticals, secondaries in this, just the primary AR and LMG. Number 9, I threw the Rattle in here. I think you could put the PKM or the Bruin in here. They all have around the same TTK. This actually has the fastest TTK of the 3 when you mix in the 2 headshots, so that's why I just went with this one. Plus, it's new, and, you know, less people might know the loadout than the PKM and the Bruin. But it's the Rau Monocore, which is the monolithic suppressor, the Rau Linebreaker barrel, the tac laser, the 3x VOK optic, and the FSS oblique. There is no commando foregrip, so you go with the oblique because it gives you the recoil control and the aim down sight, similar to the PKM snatch grip. Like I said, you can throw in the PKM or the Bruin, depending on what you're comfortable. But I do think that in the top 10, one of the LMGs from Modern Warfare fits in there. I do have 2 Cold War LMGs in this list as well. And there's about 5 LMGs that I would run. The only problem with the Modern Warfare ones, and the reason why they're number 9 and not higher up, despite having a slightly better time to kill, is because the mobility is awful on these guns, as we know. So that's why this is stuck at number 9. It's a really good weapon. It's very hard to use on Rebirth, which I mostly play because Rebirth is a little faster pace, so it's harder to be slowed down. So maybe the Bruin with the 60 round mag or something would be better. But like I said, throw whichever Modern Warfare LMG you like in this slot. Then we move on to number 8, and we have the Scar. The Scar would be higher, but it gets limited by its ammo, so it gets stuck at number 8. But if I'm running solos, I absolutely run the Scar. Low recoil, really high damage, quick time to kill. Actually love the Scar. Really love the Scar. I just wish it had a 50 or 60 round mag, and then I'd run it in trios and quads and on Rebirth all day. So it's the monolithic suppressor, the Forge Tac 20-inch LB barrel, the VOK 3x optic, commando foregrip, 30 round mag. It's a standard Modern Warfare build for ARs and LMGs. I think the stock mag is only 20, and since this is solos, you could drop this 30 round mag running for solos and go tac laser. This gun's also very good in duos. So if you're doing that, you got to go with the original no tac laser 30 round mag, but you could run the stock 20 with a tac laser, or you could switch it out for like stippled grip tape instead. Number 7, the RPD. The RPD without headshots has the second best LMG time to kill of any Cold War LMG. But if you mix in one headshot with the other one, which I'm sure you know, it's coming later in the list, I'm sure you know what it is. But no headshots, RPD's better. You should be able to mix in one headshot. So the next one on the list for Cold War LMGs, which is a few spots away from this, is better. Like I said, if this had the faster time to kill with the one headshot, it'd be switched with the other one. But it's only faster if you don't hit any headshots. So it's a Grau suppressor, task force barrel, Spetsnaz grip, axe arms 3 times with the definites, and then the last one's kind of up to you. I like the fast mag because these weapons are slow to ADS, being an LMG. So I do like the fast mag. You can go the 120 round mag. If you're going to go mag, I would only go these two because it doesn't hurt your ADS. But because you get 75, I choose to go with the fast mag because 75 is plenty. If you don't want to run a mag instead, I would either go for the Grau elastic wrap for the best aim down sight time, or I would go with like a Spetsnaz PKM stock, a KGB skeletal stock, or just the no stock for sprint to fire time. I'd probably go skeletal if you were going to go stock because I just like the increased sprint to fire time, as well as the movement speed and the aim walking speed. You do get firing movement speed with the PKM stock, but I like the sprint to fire. Number 6. This gun kills pretty fast even after its slight nerf. It just has a little bit of strong recoil. This is one of the spots where I think you could mix in the Cold War AK, but at 6, I put the new EM2. I actually really like this gun. I think its difficulty to use level somewhere around the Cold War AK. It's got a little bit stronger recoil than some guns. Definitely stronger than the Krig and the CODWZ, which I know people love. It's a little bit of a higher skill gun. That's why it falls down to 6, but it does have a very good time to kill. And it's the typical Cold War AR build. Agency suppressor, task force barrel, 3 times optic, field agent grip, stand 50 round. Now, just like the Cold War AK, this is really good sniper support. And if you run a sniper support, it doesn't have an iron sight, and I don't really like the base optic if you do run it, but it is kind of slow, and it's not very clean. So if you're going to run a sniper support, I go Microflex LED. If you like that optic and you want to run that optic on your sniper support, I would either go for the airborne elastic wrap for the fastest ADS you can get so you can compete with the SMGs, or I would go one of the typical stocks, Raider, SAS combat stock, for, you know, movement, sprint to fire, whichever one you choose. But if I was running it as sniper support, I would probably run it like this. It is very good sniper support. And if you're confident in your skills, because it's sniper support, you could ditch the field agent for a bruiser or for the grip tape we discussed. But I've only been running it as long range, so this is how I've been running it. And like I said, you could put Cold War AK in this spot, and I wouldn't argue. But I think the Cold War AK and the EM2 belong about in this spot. And as we go through my top 5, you'll see a little more why. Number 5, C58. Slightly better time to kill, I believe, than the EM2. Less recoil. I've heard people complain about the recoil. I still think this thing is a laser. I still really like this gun. Sorry, I had the wrong mag on there. I still really like this gun. Not a lot of recoil. Really good time to kill. And I still think it's a really fun gun. Definitely think it's better than the EM2, the Cold War AK, because it does have a better time to kill slightly, and it's got less recoil in my mind than both those guns. And it's typical agency suppressor, task force barrel, field agent grip, stand 50 round, and axial arms 3 times. Number 4. And you know what? Many people would argue with me on this. They would put the Krig number 1, but I have the Krig as 4. Yes, it has no recoil, but so does the QBZ. The Pharah barely has better recoil. The Stoner doesn't have any recoil. So the no recoil argument when it comes to Cold War guns just is not a factor. It's just not really much of a factor. I know the Krig's an absolute laser beam. I'm praying that they give it even just a little bit of recoil. I understand having low skill weapons to keep the lowest common denominator playing the game, because they can still hit shots with this. But this falls down to number 4. And I kind of just leaked my top 3, not in the correct order, but we'll see the top 3 after this. And we all know this build. Agency suppressor, mil-spec barrel, which is the equivalent to the task force, field agent grip, 60 round mag, axial arms 3 times. For all of the Cold War all the Cold War ARs and LMGs, you could do the equivalent to the Ranger barrel, because it doesn't hurt your ADS or your sprint to fire time, and it still gives you around the same bullet velocity, but you also don't get the effective damage range. So it's kind of a give or take depending on what you like. I know like J-God prefers the Ranger barrel. I prefer the mil-spec. I'm not too worried about ADS for my long range gun. Number 3 is the Stoner. I think it's the best LMG. It's got the Cold War movement. You mix in one headshot. It's faster than the RPD, and I believe faster than all of the Modern Warfare LMGs with just one headshot. I think the Stoner is the best LMG in the game, and one of the best AR and LMGs, as you can see with it being top 3. And it's another typical build. Agent suppressor, task force barrel, field agent grip, fast mag 3 times. And just like the RPD, you can get rid of the fast mag for like the airborne elastic wrap, or you can go stock and do Raider pad, combat stock, or no stock depending on your preference. But I like the fast mag. Like I said, you get the 75 round mag. LMGs are slow to reload. I like the fast mag. Then you can also do the 120 round mag, but I wouldn't do any other mag, just like the RPD, so you don't hurt your ADS. And number 2, my favorite no recoil weapon. That's gonna be the QBZ. Technically, the QBZ is better than the Krig because if you hit no headshots, it's got a faster time to kill. If you hit 2 headshots, it's got a faster time to kill. And if you only hit 1 headshot, the Krig barely beats it out. And both guns have no recoil, so you should be able to hit headshots. So if you factor in the 2 headshots or just chest and stomach, you're beating the Krig with the QBZ. Head to head, same exact bullet placement. Unless it's only 1 headshot, you're beating the Krig. The QBZ is extremely underrated. I think we're going to see a Krig nerf and the QBZ be forgotten about, and everyone that jumps off the Krig is going to be jumping right to the QBZ. Even though I don't believe it's quite number 1, I put it number 2 because even though it doesn't have a faster time to kill than anything except the Krig on this entire list, like I said, it's a no recoil gun just like the Krig, and I do think a lot of people will jump to this gun once the Krig sees its nerf. It's Agent Suppressor, Task Force Barrel, Field Agent Grip, 60 round mag, and Axe Arms 3 times. This thing's an absolute laser beam. If you love the Krig and you haven't given the QBZ a try, I beg you to give the QBZ a try and see if you don't love it more. But I kind of hope people don't because I don't want to see this thing get a nerf, at least not at the same time as the Krig. I love the QBZ. I hated it for so long, and I'd love to see it rise up. But that leads us into number 1, and that's the Pharah. The Pharah has a faster time to kill than almost everything on this list. With just 1 headshot, it's got some of the highest limb damage in the game. It has pretty much no recoil. It's barely more than the Krig and the QBZ. This thing's an absolute shredder. You get the mobility of an AR versus the mobility of an LMG on the Stoner. And I just think this thing's still an absolute laser beam, still a crazy good gun. I still love it. I've been running it a lot more lately. I kind of forgot about it. And it's the typical build again. Grau Suppressor, the Spetsnaz RPK Barrel, which is the equivalent to the Task Force and the CMB Mil-Spec, the Spetsnaz Grip, the Spetsnaz 60 round, and the Axe Arms 3 times. This, in my opinion, I've heard Iceman Isaac say it, as well as a few other big-time Warzone streamers, that the Pharah is an absolute beast. I know Isaac, unless he's changed his opinion, I just missed a stream or a YouTube video. I know that he believes it's the best. And this thing's just an absolute shredder because it doesn't matter where you're hitting, you're doing great damage, especially because it has that amazing limb damage as opposed to other guns. It's got like the best limb damage of any of the long-range weapons, and I truly believe that this is the best AR or LMG you want to go with. So if you don't want to snipe, go with the Pharah in my mind. Or anything on this list is great. You've heard all my reasons why. If this video was helpful to you, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more. I will have all my social medias linked down below, so please feel free to visit those. But I will see you in Verdansk and on Rebirth Island. Get frying. Have a good day. Bye.